no matter what you go to school for, the ultimate goal is to make money.
Yep.
So why not even have such a class where people will really come to understand what real money really is?
Well, the school systems only teaches you how to handle other people's money, how to become an employee, and how to take care of other people's money. It never teaches you how to make money. So
you are listening to Money Matters Podcast. Step into a world full of worth and financial intelligence. Dedicated to bringing awareness, empowering the world to financial freedom and personal development.
Once again, welcome to the Money Matters Podcast. I go by the name Clever Pinero, and I'm in the studio with a professional investor, Alex. And today we're going to be talking about money. What's going on, Alex?
Not much, man. It's been a while, man. Just glad to be back. And also very interested and glad about the topic we have for today.
Yeah, money is very important, Everybody wants money. I don't know anybody that don't want money.
Exactly.
Everybody wants money, and, we work hard trying to make money.
No, we work so hard to make money, but we don't really even learn and know exactly what money is and stuff like that. That's why it's interesting to actually talk about what money is and stuff like that tonight.
Yeah, our day-to-day life, all our activities revolve around money. We work so hard for money. We spend money. We receive money. We plan about making money. And we wish we had more money. Like, everything is money. In today's society, if you don't have money, you can't say much, and you're not even that respected like that if you don't have money. Your opinions doesn't really matter that much. But if you have money, you become important, and everything about you is, it matters.
Exactly. You are pretty much powerless without money, Being in today's economy and today's world, no, we are all result-oriented people. So if you're going to talk to me about money and can't show me anything, then, pretty much what you're saying is non-fact. Not going to make much sense to me, because what do you have to show for it?
Yeah, and as much as everybody want money, not everybody knows what money actually is and how money works. You would think the way that people are so fascinated about making money or owning more money, you would think that they will actually sit down and figure out how money works and what actually money is. But it doesn't look like that's the case.
Exactly. We are so much focused on getting it and making it, but we don't even know what it is. And, if you don't know exactly what you're pushing, it's hard to understand and know its ways and how to not lose the little bit that you have. And, because people would just make a little bit of money and I know some people who just would tell me blank that, hey, I don't put my money in the bank, or I don't make any, kind of save my money put my money into any type of an investment or stuff like that. So, having this money, pretty much they don't know what it is and don't understand it. Because if you just have money, you are losing money. Just sitting in your room, you're losing money.
But how can you not know what money is and you want money? It don't make sense though.
Exactly. Because we've been, a pastor said, or somebody said, if you go to school, you should be taught how to make money and how money works and stuff like that. There should be a course, a general course for every major that talks about money and what it is. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you go to school for, the ultimate goal is to make money.
Yep.
So why not even have such a class where people will really come to understand what real money really is?
Well, the school systems only teaches you how to handle other people's money, how to become an employee, and how to take care of other people's money. It never teaches you how to make money. So it's up to you to learn how to make money and how money works on your own if you're serious about it and you want to make money. That's just how it is. You can't rely on your school. Your school teaches you how to be an employee and take care of other people's money. That's about it.
I have my reservations about that too, because why do we have directors for newscasting? Why should they be a director to direct the news casters what to say and what not to say, when to say? You are reporting on what's going on out there. It just like schools. They're there for money, to make money.
Well, it's kind of like going to a job interview. When you go to a job interview and they ask you like, why do you want this job, blah blah blah. I mean, you tell them you want this job because you need money. You might not get the job, even though that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
So that's the society we live in right now.
Like, I remember these guys talking about going to class. I think it was like a dance class, and the professor was asking them, "Why did you pick this class?" and stuff like that. People giving all types of reasons, like, "Oh, I love to dance, and I've been dancing since I was such and such age, and I'm always fascinated about dancing and stuff like that." So it got to one guy, and he said, "Hey, man, I chose this class because it's a graduation requirement. That's the only reason why I'm here." Exactly. A lot of people are not giving the exact reasons why they're there, but
people are just not straight up. When you give a straight up answer, people look at you funny. But
exactly. So now it's just so much that we need to learn and know about money that we don't, and it's actually costing us a lot. So
yeah. So without wasting too much time, what does the dictionary say about money? Like, what does it say?
All right, the dictionary definition of money is money is a liquid asset used in the settlement of transactions. It functions based on the general acceptance of its value within a governmental economy and internationally through foreign exchange. That's what the dictionary says about money.
Okay, so in other words, money is more like a medium of exchange, to store value. Some form of unit of an account, and standard of payment or something like that.
Yes, pretty much. Those are some of the functions and features of money, some of the qualities of money. To have something as money, it should possess all those things you just read out.
So basically, the government decide what we're going to use as money. If the government say this is what money is, and the people support it, and they all decide to agree to use whatever the government issue as money, that's what becomes money in the economy.
Pretty much. An example would be for the Ghana redenomination of the city.
Right.
When the old city the government came out with the new Ghana city and said we are no more going to use the old city. It became a waste.
Became waste, and the people accepted the new one.
If you did not bring your money to the bank and get it transferred from that old one to the new one, what are you gonna use it for? It's gonna be worthless. So, government pretty much controls and determine what's used as money in the governmental economy.
So the government issue the money, and the people gives the money the power.
Once it's accepted by the people,
then the money becomes powerful, and everybody uses that as money.
Yes.
For any money duties,
transactions and stuff like that. Because it's pretty much everybody wanting it. If the government puts it out and no one wants it, it's pretty much worthless.
So if that's the case, then how come some people have money and some people don't have money? Like, besides going to work to get paid, why are some people making more money and others are not making money? What's going on?
I think it boils down to individualities and how their passions and are driven and motivated and committed to, and the visions and dreams that they have. Because somebody will make $1,000 and they will be happy. That will be more than enough for them. But then somebody will make 100,000 and that will still not be enough for them. So it comes down to the aspirations and visions of people and where they see themselves and stuff like that.
So in other words, people are just not born rich.
People are definitely not born rich. Because if you're not rich or if you're not smart with money and even you're born into money, you will lose it.
So you have to be smart with money.
You definitely have to know.
You have to do your research to find out how money works. And if you're trying to double your money or if you're trying to find ways to make more money, you could find, you could learn how money works and, take those measures to increase your money.
Exactly. Because I was just talking to one of the boys I met down at a party, and one guy came to me, this guy that I know came to me and said, "Hey man, I need some money because I know you have money and you're not the one that flashes money, flexes and stuff like that, but I know how to spend money. I know how to flash it. So let me have what you got so I can flash it." You understand? So look at his mentality and his outlook on money.
Wow.
Exactly. So that's what it is.
Well, I mean, I can't say much on that one, but I think if you know how to flash money, you should know how to make money.
That's exactly what I. That's exactly how what I said to him. I said, if you know how to spend money, you should know how to make it first. Because how are you gonna spend something you don't have?
So there can be people having the same job, and one of them is gonna be financially successful than the other one.
Definitely.
Getting paid the same amount of money.
Definitely.
And one can be successful. What could be some of the circumstances that could differentiate people with the same job getting paid the same amount? How can that happen that one will be successful and the other will not be? They both getting paid the same amount.
All depends on how knowledgeable you are about money, what your goals are, what your aspirations are. Because at the end of the day, there are two people doing the same job getting paid the same amount of money, but one borrows money from the other all the time. Because he's spending more than what he's making, and he's not thinking about no type of an investment. So with that being said, he's always behind, spending more than what he makes. So he's always playing that catch-up game to meet his needs.
So so that tells you that it's not about the profession that you have, or it's not about how much money you're making. Basically, it's about how much you're saving and what you're doing with it.
That's always the case.
That's the only reason why two people with the same job, same income, and one is richer than the other one.
And that's why most of the top paid professionals are poor.
And, it's hard to imagine it that way because, you would think they're making so much money, so they in good shape.
That's what you think. But the more you spend, the more you will lose, the more you will not have, the least you will have, pretty much. Because if you're making $2,000 and your expenses total about $5,000, you're always going to be playing that catch-up game.
So, without investing, there's no other ways of doubling your money or multiplying your money if you don't invest. What about keeping your money in the bank? A lot of people keep their money in the bank. I'll probably say, on top of my head, probably like 98% of people put their money in the bank.
That's true.
So
and not only do they not make money, they're also losing money. Because the average bank gives about 0.5% of returns in interest per annum. So if your money is sitting in the bank, you're only getting about 0.5%, depending on how much your money is. How much could you possibly make? All right. And look at it from also this angle. Let's say a bag of cement costs about 35,000 Ghana cedis today.
Right.
In a year's time, it's going to cost about 40,000 Ghana a day.
Right.
So the money that you had yesterday, that could have probably bought you about 10 bags of cement, can probably get you about 6, 7. You've lost about 3 bags of cement, all because the money just sat. And was not put towards any type of investment.
Your money lost its purchasing power.
You've lost purchasing power. You lost all this because of what? Depreciation and inflation.
Can you explain depreciation to the average Ghanaian listening that may not know what we're talking about when we say depreciation?
Depreciation is pretty much the value of the money going down because of the rise in cost of living and cost of commodities, pretty much.
So over time, in the way our system is, over time with inflation kicking in, your money is going to depreciate.
Definitely. And inflation is pretty much using a bulk bunch of money to buy fewer goods.
So, based on what you're saying, inflation is guaranteed to happen over time.
Pretty much. Especially
there's no way around it. Inflation is definitely going to happen.
And depreciation, yes, especially in our Ghanaian economy. Because every time they increase the cost of gallon of gasoline, everybody raises the prices of their commodities. everything goes up. And this sometimes it happens twice a year. So if your money is not adding value to it, if it's not adding, you're not making any type of interest to bring your money to match the rising cost of commodities, you're going to be losing.
So if you live in Ghana, then it doesn't really make sense to put your money in the bank.
Not at all.
To save money. It doesn't make no sense to keep your money in the bank. Unless maybe you're trying to put your money temporarily in the bank, trying to get a loan or something like that. Other than that, I don't see any reason why you should have your money in the bank.
You can have the money in the bank if you make at least 10% in
Right.
returns.
I'm talking about saving in the bank. You know, most people just save their money in the bank and that's it. The money is not put into any kind of investments in the bank.
Then that's
So
not.
if you're just saving money in the bank, it doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense if your money is just sitting there. You know, sometimes you do put some plan down to at least save up. Maybe you may probably have a specific amount that you put towards your savings every month, trying to get a bulk to purchase, make a special purchase or something like that. That's different. But if you just have money and it's just sitting there with no plans of trying to build it up to buy or make a huge or big purchases, then it makes no sense to just have the money sit there. You should always be looking into ways of adding value to it, multiplying your money either through mutual funds or treasury bills or whatnot.
Or CDs or
Shares, stocks,
what's the other one?
Bonds.
Fixed deposits and stuff like that.
stuff like that. So if your money is just sitting and you're not gonna be using the money for anything, for example, if you should take $10,000, bring it to Ghana, change it from dollars to cedis, and just have it sit there, in about 2-3 months or 5 to 6 months, you would lose the city you exchange that 10,000 to make won't be able to transfer back to the dollars.
Right, because even
That would
That's
be the
crazy,
change
though,
in the currency depreciation. Yeah,
but I believe the inflation rate in Ghana is probably 11% or 12%.
that's another thing, because these guys numbers, if you could trust the numbers, then I think right now it's somewhere around 12 or 13%.
So when they say that money savers are losers, that is true.
Of course it is, because of the simple fact that the money is losing its value due to depreciation and inflation every day.
So in other words, putting your money in the bank is a guaranteed way of losing money.
Exactly.
If you put your money in the bank, like you want to save money in the bank, your money is guaranteed to be, devalued.
Exactly, because the bank owner is making money off of your money. The money that's in there, they're using it to loan. They're loaning that to people
Right, they're
and collecting returns and stuff. It's not sitting there.
So you want to think like the bank then, because the bank, they don't let the money sit. So why would you let your money sit if the bank that you put in your money in, they're not letting their money sit?
Because that's their way of making money, and these are some of the stuff that they don't want you to know. Because if you take the money from where it's at and you put it into somewhere that will fetch you a little something back, they're losing out.
Because with the interest rate the banks are giving you, you will never be able to keep up in inflation.
No,
it's impossible.
never. It's impossible. That cannot be done.
So you want to think like the bank and find a way to double your money or to increase your money, because that's what the bank is doing with your money.
Yep.
And they're giving you 0.05%.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
so
exactly what it is. So the banks will tell you, come, we will protect your money for you, so you will not lose it to armed robbery and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they're making way more money off what you deposit with them. Because think about it. If you have 10,000 Ghana cedis in a bank and you go and borrow about 50,000 Ghana cedis, maybe from that same bank or another bank, how much do you pay back to them in interest?
You only paid a lot of money back to them in interest.
And how much do you get back in interest on your deposits?
You get less on interest on your deposit. You get less in interest on your deposit, but you're gonna be paying more interest to them.
Exactly. So why don't you look for ways and avenues where you can place the money where it will probably fetch you at least 10% and 8%, some percentage higher than what you make in that fixed deposit or regular savings.
So instead of just letting your money sit in the bank doing nothing, you want to think of other avenues where you could make more money or at least increase or double the money that you have.
That's the only way you can match the rising cost of living to the money that you have. And point of correction, what we just said about the inflation rate in Ghana, I looked it up. It was 9.16 for 2019.
Oh, how about 2020? It's not up yet.
2020. I mean, we just started, so it's only forecasted, and it's supposed to still remain around the same rate.
So, meaning if you do a fixed deposit with your money, you could be fighting inflation.
Yes.
You might make a little bit of money, but you'll be fighting inflation, which is better than your money just sitting in the bank.
There and losing. Because if you're just sitting there, you're losing out. You lose about 9.6%.
So we gotta all refrain from the old ways of making money, which is just saving money. Because that's how we're being taught when you were little, save money, save money, save money. That's the old way.
How do you make money with the money just sitting with not even 0.1% in returns?
Because people believe they're gonna just save their way up.
This day and age, you should not just sit there and have that blind faith in stuff. You should ask for numbers. You should see figures. Because you cannot just say, oh, I believe and I trust and these things. And these are some of the problems with us Africans. We just believe without even looking and searching and actually having fixed figures and numbers to back our beliefs up. We just throw up our faiths and trust in things without being shown results and evidence and facts.
So we all got to stick with the new rule of money, right? The new rule of money, and try to figure out how we can invest our money and find multiple ways that we can generate more money without saving the money.
In today's world, for you not to lose money.
Right.
But
that's the problem, though. A lot of people are scared of the risk involved sometimes, depending on which kind of investment that you involve in,
You're scared of losing the money. But there are there are many avenues where you put your money. It will be guaranteed for X amount of returns rate that you will get. That there's no risk in losing your money. The returns might not be as huge as others, but you would definitely get something back, and your money will be 100% safe. The treasury bills and stuff like that are backed by the government, so there's no way you would lose it.
So, in other words, we have to put ourselves in a better situation to deal with not losing money, or not just having our money sit there and be bored. We have to find ways to let that money work so we can make more money.
Exactly.
And what are some of the options if people are listening and they're trying to find ways not to lose money but to have their money bring in more money, or at least fight inflation? What are some of the what assets, or what can they do? What can they invest in?
It depends on how much money you're looking at or talking about. If you have something that can get you an asset that can also generate money for you, you should definitely look into that, And also a disclaimer, these are all our own thoughts and plans. Just, we're not no professionals and stuff like that. But you can also look into stocks, bonds. You can talk to financial advisors. They're there, and that's their job. You go talk to them. You let them know how much money you have, how long you have that money free. Like I have $10,000 sitting for the next 12 months. I don't have any immediate plans for that right now. So what can I do with it? Where should I put it to generate at least $5,000 in returns by the end of these 12 months? Stuff like that. These guys are there, and these are some of the services that we don't use at all. Ghanaians and other African,
I think,
immigrants in America don't have or talk to these people at all.
I think even if you go to Ghana, the bank don't do a good job in advertising their different investment opportunities for that people can invest in. Most people just do stuff based on word of mouth and people saying, hey, this bank is giving a good interest rate on a fixed deposit. And that's what everybody know. Fixed deposit, fixed deposit, fixed deposit. That's what everybody know. So the bank maybe, you know, should take the initiative to introduce people to the other kind of investments that they have, because people are clueless about it.
See, that is the corporate world. The bank is there to make money. Say, so if you dump your money in just savings account and you're getting about 0.5% in a year, that means they have full control of your money. So they will use that money and probably put it in a fixed deposit somewhere and make about 5% in a year.
So that's why they don't even try to talk to you to invest.
They're there to make money. So if there's a way for them to make money and you losing out, it's your loss, not theirs. So until you start to ask questions and find out where and how you can, you know, I'm not even saying like go make X amount of money or whatnot to keep up the value of your money, to keep up with the cost, the rising cost of living, because inflation it would over time run you down. So if you don't want to do that, what you can do is to make sure that you at least to make. So right now, to keep up with the rising cost of living, you should be making at least 9.16% in a year, just so you will have the same amount, the same value, the same worth of what you have by the end of 2020.
So if you're going to put your money in a fixed deposit, you want to make sure that the interest rate they're giving you over the year is at least close to 10%.
At least 10%. So what you have can afford what it could buy today in the next 12 months.
So if you go, they give you 5%, 6%.
You're losing out.
You're losing out. You should be able. You should bargain it out to that. So you have to always know what the inflation rate is. Or
exactly.
That's the potential inflation rate is. If you're living in a country like Ghana where the inflation rate is so high, I think in America the inflation rate is around like 2.5% or something like that.
Yep. And that was one thing that I also considered every time, because back a few years back I used to send money to Ghana to go put it into these fixed deposits and stuff like that. And by the beginning of the year I would look, because there's always like a predicted depreciation value rate of the cedi to the dollar.
Right.
So if it's predicted to value by probably 15% or 12%, and I'm bringing money from here, from the US to bring to Ghana to go invest, I should be, if it is going to be depreciating by 15%, I should make at least 20%.
Right.
Maybe 25%.
Because you know when you do fixed deposit in Ghana, and before when the interest rate used to be around like 30%. You're thinking you're getting 30% back, but you're not really getting 30% back.
No.
You're getting like probably like 20% back.
You should know the rate of depreciation from the cedi to the dollar in a year, the predicted. So if you don't have that number, you don't even know how much you're going to be making back. Because whatever you make back minus the depreciated rate is what you make.
So right now, the commercial bank, the GCB Bank, which is giving, I believe, 11% on a fixed deposit, you actually making like about 1%.
Making about 1%, and that is even subject to change. So if you're taking 11%, the predictions can either go up or down. So if it goes up, then it means you've lost money. Right. In your head, in your mind, you're probably thinking, oh, I'm getting 10% back. But how much is it depreciating against the dollar?
Yeah, these are some of the things that you gotta, keep in mind whenever you invest in your money. You want to know these numbers. You want to pay attention to what the depreciation rate is in your country. What the interest rate is. You have to know your numbers so you'll be able to bargain when you go to the bank. Don't just let your money sit in the bank, because your money sit in the bank, you're guaranteed to lose money. That money could be in there and it will get wiped out. By the time you go get it from the bank, you can't purchase anything with it.
No.
Because if you bought like a bottle of water for $1 10 years ago, today it's not going to be $1. You know,
you're going to spend $1.50.
Right. So,
and if you had $2 sitting in the bank from 2018 to 2020, and 2018 you bought a bottle of water for what, $1, and now you're paying $1.50. you've lost 50 cents.
Wow. So this is very important, guys. You know, we need to pay attention to these things and find ways to invest our money. If you're gonna put your money in a bank, put it in there for short term. If you're trying to get a loan or you're just trying to save some money for the short term, don't leave it there for years and years and years. You're gonna lose money. You're guaranteed to lose your money. That's why they always keep saying savers are losers, savers are losers, savers are losers. Savers are losers. People don't see it like that. You know, people think, oh, I'm saving my money, I'm working, I'm saving my money, and at least I know my money's in my pocket. I'm not gonna lose it. But you are losing it. The money's in your pocket, and you're losing the money. You're not even aware of it. I think you're better off losing the money for real, so you know you lost the money than the money being in your pocket and then you losing it.
Yeah, that's the sad part, because they don't physically see the money physically leave in their pockets, so they think they still have the money, but it may be still $10. But what $10 can get you in the time you put it in your pocket, when you go pull it out in about a year or two, you won't be able to purchase the same thing that you would have been able to buy 2 years ago. So that's how to look at it.
Yep. So you got to understand how money works. Because once you know and understand how money works in today's, in 2020, how money works, you'll be able to put yourself in a better situation where you can make more money and stop losing money. Don't put money in the bank. Don't trust the bank with your money, because the bank is not the best place. Inflation is guaranteed to happen. It's going to happen regardless, whether you like it or not. Inflation is going to happen. So you want to put yourself in a situation where you'll be able to make more money and fight the inflation, or even make more money than the amount of money that you lost, because this is guaranteed to happen. So it's something that has to be in your plans if you plan to invest or you plan to increase your money. And you don't want to be the other person losing money, having a job, saving money and losing money and not even knowing. I think that's very sad that, people could actually be living that kind of life.
Yeah, because the bank doesn't work for you. They work in to get your money from you. So it's up to you to look for the ways in which these guys used to grab the little that you have.
So what would be your final advice to these people to find? You were saying before to find a financial advisor and stuff like that.
Yeah, find you a financial advisor, and don't go to these people. I always say this: don't go to these people and try to outsmart them by not giving them the real facts about your finances, because you wouldn't do yourself any favor talking to them and lying to them. Example, going to like a mortgage broker and not giving them your real information, giving them wrong numbers and stuff like that. It won't help you, because at the end of the day, everything is going to come out to light and they will see it. So yes, if you're going to have about 10,000, 5,000, whatever amount of money that you're going to have sitting doing nothing, you should talk to a financial advisor. Let them know how long that money is going to be idle for. Because with that, they would know where to put it, or where they will advise or recommend or suggest to put it. So find these people. They're there. Find them, and they will advise you on how to save and make more of what you have. Money just sitting in the bank account is you losing money pretty much to the banks. So let's start talking to these people. Find out. Get on a computer, search them up, talk to them, get recommendations from coworkers, friends, and stuff like that, and they will help you to find good ones who would be able to help you make more of what you have.
So you got to stick to the new rule of dealing with money, which is invest your money. Find ways to invest your money. It doesn't matter if the percent is not so huge, as long as it's the percentage is bigger than the inflation rate in your country. You are good. If not, you're going to lose money without even knowing, which is very sad. And you don't want to be losing money like that. You work hard for your money. You want to have your money not lose its value, but grow.
Exactly. The numbers to look for are the inflation rates, because it's at the beginning of the year they predict how much the money is supposed to, how much inflation is supposed to be by the end of the year. And if you're probably bringing your money to another country, you still find out what the difference between the exchange rates is going to be by the end of the year. Because if you're investing and they're giving you about 10% per annum, and the money, your currency is supposed to lose about 10% or 20% to the dollar in about 12 months or whatever amount of time, then you're also losing money. So if you're bringing money to another country, make sure you check these numbers out to know exactly how much you're going to be making at the end of the year.
So in a country like Ghana, if the inflation rate is like 12% and the government is giving a fixed deposit rate of, let's say, 10% or 9%, then the government is just calling the people stupid.
Pretty much. And I've also realized that the vision of the NPP government is for now have people deposit their money in banks and eat off the interest and stuff like that. So whenever they come to power, they always try to discourage people from just dropping and putting their monies in the bank and just chilling and enjoying the returns. So they always drop the interest rates and stuff like that, and the goal is try to get you to withdraw the money from the banks and use them, invest them by starting some type of company, a job, business or something, because they want to create employment and stuff like that for people. So whenever the NPP government is in power, you see that the returns on investments is like really, really low. It goes really, really down. And when the NDC folks come to power, that's when these things go up. So if you're somebody who invests or looking to invest in Ghana and stuff like that, you should know when to put your money into some type of business or when to just drop it off in the bank and enjoy the returns. So these are some of the things that you also have to keep in mind.
All right, guys. So there you have it. Make sure you don't just let your money sit idle. Invest it. Find ways. If you don't know any ways to invest your money, find a financial advisor. Let them advise you, and so you can make the best decision with your money and not stay poor or not put yourself in a bad financial situation.
Yup, every little penny, cent, whatever counts. Peso counts. So don't. We always keep saying, oh, it just one city, it's just two cities, it's just $3, it's just that. See, these are some of the things that we don't pay attention to that always runs us down, because the little drops. Who says that? I think it's my man Bukom Banku. Is that the little drops make a mighty ocean or something?
Little
like
drops
that.
of water makes a mighty ocean.
Yeah, that's one of my man's sayings. So yes, these are some of the things we gotta keep in mind and not just let our little drops go waste.
All right. So thanks for listening, guys. It's the Money Matters Podcast. Subscribe, like, share, comment. See you guys on the next podcast.
That's all for today. Until we meet again next time, never stop learning. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to our channel. Email us at themoneymatterspodcast@gmail.com.